Alright, let's make some flowers this week. I played around with some art supplies and came up with 3 different ways that you can make flowers using things that hopefully you already have around your house. Otherwise, they were very inexpensive to pick up from the store if you want to try them at home. And some of them have different ways that you can make them, so we'll talk about alternative things you can use. First way, probably easiest way, I did some finger painting. I didn't actually use finger paint. I think you can. I don't think it really matters, but I used just the regular tempera paint stuff that we use at school to make this one. And I used my pointer finger and I made some flowers. So for this one, I just did the yellow dot in the middle. I made all of my yellow dots first, and then I got a different color. I used the same finger, I just had a tissue nearby, but I think it would work just the same if you use different fingers on your hands. You'll just get a little bit messier, which is fine. And then I found when I was making them that I didn't let the yellow dot dry. If you do that, it'll be slightly easier. But I found that it's easiest if you turn the paper around in a circle while you're doing the flower so that you don't smudge the rest of it. And then I made these little bumblebees and these little ladybugs I did another fingerprint and then waited until it was dry and added the rest on with a little black pen or a black marker. I did the stems and the grass and the dirt with a paintbrush. You could use your finger to do that part too if you want to. I just waited until the flowers were dry and then went back in and did the stems and the rest of it. So, an easy art project to do if you have paint in the house. If you don't have paint in the house, you could make these fingerprint flowers with a marker. If you color on your finger, you will have to do it over and over and over again. So it will take a little longer. Or an ink pad if you have one of those. And you could make flowers at home too. If you do this, send me a picture. I want to see it. Alright, next way is probably the most difficult, but they turn out really cool. For this type of flower, I used baking cups, right, or cupcake liners or muffin liners or whatever. I used the kind that I had at home that were just all solid colors. If you have white ones or a light color, you can draw on them, which I think would look really cool. Or if you have ones that are patterned or have designs on them, I think that would look awesome too. So whatever kind of cupcake tins you have. And then the part that makes this difficult is that then you have to cut them. And I played around with cutting them to see which way was easiest, and this is what I found. You take your cupcake liner and you flatten it out. I flipped mine over. I don't know that you have to, but I flipped mine over and then I folded it in half. This will help to make you have to do less cutting. And then, if I'm going to make a flower like this one, right, I've got to cut around the outside so that it kind of has that up and down curve. So, what I did is for the outside flower piece, stay close to the edge and just kind of make that wavy line. When you cut it in half, or when you fold it in half, you have to do less cutting. It's sort of like when we made paper snowflakes, right? So then I get this little extra piece, and when I open it up, it looks like this. Okay, and then I've got to make a middle piece. Let's use blue. Now for the second one, you could just do one color and put a yellow in the middle of that if you want to. If you don't have a yellow cupcake liner, you could just color a circle of paper yellow, or you could put yellow buttons in the middle, or whatever color you want, actually. Or you could just color it yellow, paint it yellow. If you don't, I have yellow cupcake liner, so I'm going to use that, but if you don't, you can definitely just color it in yellow. For the second one, you've got to cut a little bit farther into the cupcake tin so that it shows up. So go down, there's going to be more of this that comes off, that extra. You won't be able to cut as many waves because you've got less space. And when you open up, it looks like that. Then it can go inside of there. Cool. So yeah, then you could paint the middle or glue something in there. You could put a picture of your face in there. That would be cool. But I have yellow cupcake liners, and what I am going to do is just cut. You see how there's already a circle on the bottom for where the bottom of the cupcake or the muffin would be? I'm just going to cut that circle out and use that from the middle of my flower. So just going to cut into the middle. It won't be perfect, but that's okay. Just trying my best, right? I should have flattened it out a little bit before I cut into the middle. And then, once they're all cut out, I've got to glue them together. I found that the easiest way, there we go, there's my flower. To glue them is to glue just that circle in the middle. I used a glue stick, and I put a little glue in the middle circle. If you put it everywhere, then your flower will be flat, and if you want your flower to be flat, that's fine. But I like it when my flower pops up a little bit, so I'm leaving the rest of it with no glue so that it kind of pops out at me. Now I got the blue piece on, and then I got to put the yellow piece on. More a little bit of glue in the middle, and I can put my yellow piece on there. Ta-da! There's my flower. Then the rest of it I did with just marker. Ooh. So, very fun. A little bit more challenging than the finger painting one, but looks really cool when you're done. So, give that a try. I'd love to see what you come up with. Okay, last one is my favorite. Very fun. We do it in the classroom every year, but it takes a little while and you get a little messy. So for these cool flowers, I used coffee filters. Didn't have any at home because I don't drink coffee, but they were very easy to pick up at the store. So what you do with the coffee filters here, each one of these is 2 that I've kind of twisted together to make these cool flowers. Now these ones aren't glued down. In the classroom we use a pipe cleaner to give them actual stems so that you can carry them like a bouquet of flowers. So you have a pipe cleaner or a wire or something where you could poke a hole through the middle and sort of hang them on. That looks really cool. But you could also glue them down and draw stems like I've done for the other ones. But this one's really easy. All you need is coffee filters, some markers, and some water. So I figure most people have that stuff at home. If not, again, like I said, it was easy to find at the store. Then all you have to do, this is where you get to use your scribble scrabbling because you're going to spray it with water or drip water on it. So you can use, your coloring doesn't have to be great. I would color the whole thing. Let's see, does this red marker work? Not really, but it's enough. You can color it with whatever colors you want to. They'll all kind of run together, so it's not super important. And I don't think it matters how much color you use. If you want your colors, that purple marker works. If you want your color to be really bright, use less water when you are spraying it. I would recommend what I did, because I don't have a spray bottle here at home. What I did for mine is I just took a little handful of water from the sink and kind of dripped it over the coffee filter. And then when I was done, First I put them on like a plastic wrap on the counter so that they wouldn't get the counter wet. It will leak through the coffee filter, the color, but it comes right off the table. So if you just want to do it on the table without anything underneath it, that's fine. That's how we do it in the classroom, and it wipes right up when you're done. But it does look really messy, and it'll get your fingers a little, it'll dye your fingers a little bit, but it washes right off. So when I'm done coloring my coffee filter in, then I get to drip water on it. Again, I just used my fingers and sort of sprinkled water over the coffee filter. Then you gotta let it dry. It takes about an hour or two to dry. I moved mine out into the sun so that they would dry a little faster. If you use a lot of water, it sometimes helps to pick it up out of the water and put it in a drier spot. It'll help it dry faster. And then when they're done, they come out looking like this. Right, we've tie-dyed them. Very cool. And if you take two of them and you stack them together, then I just sort of stick my finger in the middle and twist. And you can get this really cool looking flower. And then you can glue that down if you want to. Or like I said, you could give it stems. I made 3 flowers, so that means I had to color 6 coffee filters, because it takes 2 coffee filters for each flower. After they're wet, then you can put them together. It doesn't matter how you color them. I haven't seen one of them come out that doesn't look good, so you can put as many colors on a flower as you want to. You could put just one color on a flower. For this one, I did the whole, this top one, I did the whole thing yellow and just put a few orange lines on there to give it a little bit of a different color. And I think it turned out really cool. You could do them all just one color. They'd look very awesome. So whatever you want to do, then sprinkle them with water. Make sure the whole thing gets wet. After they dry, twist them together. Super easy. And you'll make yourself a really cool flower. So try some of these. Try one of these. Try all 3 of these. Send me a picture of your work when you're done. I can't wait to see what flowers you come up with. Good luck!